Okay, so here's the question. You want to get involved with crypto. You hear a lot about it, but you don't want to do the exchange or stake or mine or farm or whatever they're talking about. So the question is, what are some traditional equity positions I can buy that give me that exposure to the crypto world that literally, if I could hold them for the next 5 years, I could see a 200% gain over 5 years, a 400% gain over 5 years, an 800% gain over 5 years. And so that's what I'm going to talk about in this video today. Stick around. I'm going to show you what some of them are, from very big to very small. Stick around. We're going to jump into it immediately. Hey guys, this is RC Peck, and I want to talk to you about investing in crypto, but using equity to do it. So it's very interesting because right now there are no exchanges like Schwab, Fidelity, TD Ameritrade, JP Morgan, Morgan Stanley, Raymond James, Edward Jones, any of them, B of A, Wells Fargo, that will allow you to buy crypto. But there are ways to get exposure to crypto. So if you want to have exposure, then I'm absolutely going to show you some of the symbols you can look at. Now, even if you don't want to get into crypto, this video is important because it's going to teach you how to think, and it's going to show you a strategy that can really help you grow your money over the next 5 years. So let's get into this. Okay, guys, my name is RC Peck, and let me do this. Let me jump over to my price charts here. So here we are here. The first one I want to show you is PayPal. Big company, $335 billion market cap. Very likely could be $1 trillion. In fact, it's probably going to be a $1 trillion market cap in 5 to 10 years. That means it's going to grow 200% over 5 or 10 years. If it's 10 years, that's an average of 20% a year. That's not bad considering the S&P grows on average 10% a year. And by the way, guys, the S&P is very, very hard to beat. So this is PayPal. Now they're accepting, they're allowing you to buy Bitcoin on their platform. They make it super easy. They don't talk about commissions or anything, but they're allowing people to now buy Bitcoin. And that's a pretty big deal. This is really the future. I mean, this was a company that was almost non-existent a decade ago. Going from memory, eBay bought it for 1.5 billion, something like that. It's now worth 335 billion. Of course, they spun it off. But PayPal is a way that you could literally do a buy and hold. And over the next 5 to 10 years, you could see a 200% gain on your money. Let's go with the longer time frame. 10 years, 200% gain. That's 20% on average a year. Average, guys. That means you buy and hold and forget about it. So that's PayPal. Let's do a step down in size. So the next company I want to show you is, drum roll please, is Square. Come on. Come on. So this is Square. A much smaller company, almost a third the size of PayPal. I'm going by market cap here. So Square is about $120 billion. And Jack Dorsey, who is the CEO of Square, one of the best CEOs on the planet, he is pushing heavily into crypto. And this is another one of these stocks where do not be surprised that if in 10 years it is 700% bigger. That's a big number, 700% gain over 10 years. That's also known as an average of 70% a year over that 10-year period. Again, the S&P averages about 10% a year. So you have this company here that literally you could do a buy and forget about. So that's Square. Now, these are the two most kind of established. Think about this. The bigger something is, in the case of equity, the safer it is. We have Square at 120 billion-ish, and we have PayPal at 330 billion. Two super safe plays to really get involved in kind of the decentralized finance or modern finance that is really taking over. Some people call it Web 3.0. So those are two. The next three I want to show you are actually exchanges. So it's going to be Coinbase, Robinhood, and Voyager. All three very different. I don't necessarily have an opinion on these like I do on PayPal and Square. They're all fairly new. Coinbase and Robinhood are new. I don't know. meaning I don't know if these are one of those where you can hold it for 10 years and it's going to go up 500% or 1,000%. Coinbase is definitely one of the leaders. It's an exchange. It IPO'd this year. IPO didn't really go that well, but it's still a $56 billion company. It's pretty big. It's one to watch over time. The next one is Robinhood. Personally, I don't like the company. I think it's dangerous for men under the age of 30. It's really more of a gambling app than anything else, but they are pushing very, very hard into crypto. Again, it's super brand new, $38 billion market cap. I don't really have opinion on the direction of it, but those are, I'm going to call those the two biggest crypto exchanges that are publicly traded in the US. Now, I have a third one that is really, really small. Let's bring in a SVYVGF. So this is Voyager. It's called Voyager Digital. It's an exchange, same thing, a crypto exchange. It's in Canada, and its ticker symbol is VYGVF, 5 letters. And it's doing the same thing that a Coinbase or a Robinhood is doing. It is just much smaller, and it's also based in Canada, so the US stock market doesn't really know about it yet. But as far as kind of speculative or where you want to put a smaller amount of your money and kind of forget about it for 5 or 10 years, this might be one of those that can really absolutely explode. But again, this is a smaller amount of your portfolio that you have to really be willing to take a really big hit on it. So that is Voyager. So Coinbase, Robinhood, and Voyager are 3 exchanges here in the US that you can buy. Okay, lastly, I want to talk about 4 symbols. And these are, it's kind of hard to describe these symbols. I don't want to say they're taking advantage of crypto. I'm saying it in a good way. They're really leveraged to crypto. They're putting all of their money on crypto, and it's kind of an equity way of playing. Again, I have no idea if they're going to be around in 2 years, let alone 10 years, but they're definitely symbols you can trade, and there's definitely symbols you can be in for a while that are going up in momentum. And so there's 4 of them that I want to show you, and they're all between $3 to $7 billion, so they're pretty small. So let's kind of go through them in the size that they are. So I'll show you this one here. This is called Riot Blockchain, RIOT. You know, it really crushed it up until February of this year, and it's just been really lost. From February of this year, it really got hit pretty hard, down 70%. From that bottom of 70%, it's up, it's up 56% from that bottom, but still from the top to where it is today, it's still down about 50%. So Riot's kind of lost in the woods right now, and a lot of these are going to look very similar. Here's Silvergate Capital. It's about $3.2 billion. Again, you're going to notice all these have very similar formation. The next one is Marathon Digital Holdings. This one actually, of the 3 I've already shown you, and I'm going to show you one more. This is probably the best out of the 4 I'm showing you here, these smaller entities, again, in the $3 to $6 billion, $3 to $7 billion range. But if you want to get exposure to crypto or trade crypto kind of through a proxy, you could trade these symbols, and it's something that I'm actually doing in my trading course. I'm showing my trading clients to how to leverage this in a way that is trauma-free, drama-free, that is literally click a button when, the signal says this. So these are some of the ways to do that. And then one more is MicroStrategy, which is basically a play on Bitcoin. It looks very similar to the other 3 I just showed you. But what I want to do is just kind of give you some flavors of what's going on right now. If you don't want to put money over at a crypto exchange, or it's too scary to, the question is what equity can I use? Can I have exposure to? So I kind of start off with 2 buy and hold. Then I showed you 3 exchanges. Then I showed you 4 kind of more speculative plays to just show you that out of that. So let's add that up in my brain. So we have 2 plus 3. So of the 9, there's 9 equity positions. Now there's ETNs that you can buy that do their best to mimic some of the cryptocurrencies. I'm not going to talk about those in these videos. I'm just going to stick with equities, with companies that you can buy that have exposure to crypto. There's going to be more and more over time. Crypto is absolutely here to stay. It is not going anywhere. It is getting more and more established, and it is still very small compared to just the size of precious metals or the size to traditional stocks or the size to bonds. So it's a investment area that's going to keep growing. And the whole key, literally the whole key to leveraging crypto is how you own it, how you own the equity, the strategy of you owning it. Is it a buy and hold? Is it buy and forget? Is it a trade? Is it a rebalance? And the strategy you use is actually kind of the investment, because the strategy determines the outcome. Thanks guys for being in my world. I appreciate you watching this video. This is only for education and entertainment purposes only. No financial advice is given. There's no solicitation that you should be buying any of those symbols whatsoever. I do not know your risk tolerance. Guys, if you liked the video, you're gonna love my free course, Clarity and Control. You can check it out in the description. And please click the like button, the thumbs up button, leave a comment. I love comments. This is where I want you to be sending me your comments. What do you want me to look at? Please do it in the comments. It helps with the algorithm, and it allows these videos to get more exposed to other people, which I'd like to have more of. Thanks guys for being in my world. I appreciate you, and I'll see you on the next video. Okay, bye.